Hello guys, what's up? This is the Complete Trader, and today I'm going to be sharing with you guys what I consider to be the best approach for trading. This is how you find quality trade all the time, and then you end up being consistently profitable. Okay, so right here, this is a live trade that I took earlier on today. I've already closed one of the trades. This is GBP NZD. Okay, and it is the exact process that I'm going to talk to you about right now that I used for finding this trade. Okay, and that's what I use all the time. All right. um so this was the first trade that I took, and right now my stop loss is placed above that for a risk-free trade. Okay, because my TP ultimate TP is still above. But I also took one trade here. This is why I see this line right here. I took one trade here, okay, when price broke through this high, okay, and then retraced back into it. So I took another, that's a second trade here, but I've closed that trade right now when price broke past the former week's high. Okay, remember what I told you guys, that around the former week's high, you're going to see buy side liquidity, and the big traders like to use that to go short. And then you can see what is actually happening right here. So there's kind of been a struggle for price to actually continue higher, but I believe that it should continue higher. But anyways, I've already closed that in profit, and so I'm not worried. And my running position, this one right here, we have the stop loss already moved above entry, so for a risk-free trade. All right, so what is the best approach for trading? What is that method that helps you to find quality setups all the time, and you know get you to that position where you are consistently profitable? All right, so the first thing is fundamental analysis, and I've already defined for you guys what I consider to be fundamental analysis. Fundamental analysis for me means that you are analyzing where the big money is flowing out of and flowing into. Okay, so what I found with a lot of people is that when they wake up in the morning and they want to trade, whatever just comes to their mind, that's it. Because you have so many pairs to trade, so many instruments, and see you see them just going around the market looking for one. Just open up this chart, open up that chart. No, that's not the way to trade. There are exact things, certain things that the big traders are concerned about. And these are the things that they always look at. These are the things that affect the decisions they are making in the market. This is what will determine where they would take money out of and put that money into. Okay? And so that is exactly what fundamental analysis is all about. And I gave you an example of that using gold. That was my previous video, the video after, before this one. And you can go and check that one out if you've not yet watched that video. I gave you an example of how that kind of analysis or approach to finding a trade, how it looks like. And you can do that for currencies and all of that stuff. You can do that for any currency. You can do that for stock indexes and so on. Okay, so the first thing is to find out where the big money is flowing into or flowing out of, where the money is flowing out of and flowing into, because this is what will determine what you should be trading. You don't want to force your desire on the market. Okay, so the next thing after finding out what to trade is to look for your entry. And there are multiple kinds of entries. You have entries that are based on indicators. You have entries that are based on market structure. Different methods of entry. Now, for me, for instance, I use different kinds of entries. Sometimes I use indicators, and the reason why I use indicators now is because I've come to understand price movement. All right, so even while I use indicators, my eyes are still on price action. All right, because I know that a lot of people use indicators wrongly. Okay, but you need to first of all understand how price books, how price move, before you can actually know how to handle indicators. So I use indicators and but my main kind of entry is always entries that are based on institutional concept. And I have a particular course for that. All right. And so in finding your entry, there are three things that I consider to be very essential that we boost your, the odd, okay? They'll put the odd in your favor in getting high probability entries. And those things are number one, timing. Timing is very important. Timing comes in two ways. Timing has to do with market structure, but also timing has to do with time of the day. Okay, because there are time of the day when big money is most likely going to flow in the market. All right, so you have London session, you have New York session, and then you have Asian session. Okay, and then you have session overlap. So that's timing for you. Timing is very important. Number two is correlation. Correlation can help you find quality setups, because you see the market moves. You can see fund, moving into a group of assets or a group of instruments, okay, or moving out of a group of instruments at the same time. And so correlation can help you know when a move is actually a false move or a true move. So when you have three group of assets that are linked, okay, and they actually, maybe they do well at the same time and do worse, do badly at the same time. So if you see that, okay, for instance, you're looking to buy one of those assets, then you see that the other two, okay, that are linked to it are also doing fine, then that gives you confidence, all right, to want to get into that trade. So correlation is very important. Number three is confirmation. Confirmation comes in different ways, but I like to look at the confirmation of candlestick patterns. Candlestick patterns are very cool, because they show you the market structure on the smallest level. Okay, market structure on smallest level. So that is it for entry. And another thing that's very essential is risk management. Risk management, you have to always keep this in mind. It is first of all risk before reward. Okay, so you have to know um, um, the kind of risk you have to take, um, because if you come into this market just looking at the reward, you're going to get out very easily. All right, you're going to be shown the door very quickly. All right, so risk management is very, very important, and I don't have to talk about that here, but you know that the standard for risk management is about 2% of your total equity on every trade. And then you also have to, you need a limit of you know your risk management for a day. You need a limit for your risk management for a trade, a risk management limit also for a day. Okay, you need that as well. And then the next thing would be trade management. So for instance, my trade is on. Okay, what do I mean by trade management? So I said I took a trade here, and after taking this one here, and so when I saw that price had already broken past the high of last week, there's a good probability that price can retrace back into market structure. So I don't want to lose all that money. So what I did was to close this trade, the second trade that was up here before now, but you can see it now because I've already closed that. So I closed that. That is called trade management. And my running position, I had to move my stop loss, not just to break even, because price had already moved very significantly, and moved it below this order block level here. Now I taught you guys something about order block in this YouTube channel, and so this is an order block level. This last down close candle here before this strong movement of price to the upside that broke market structure, this is an order block. Okay, so I move my stop loss below that level, right? So this is what trade management is all about. Okay, so you're managing your trade so that you end up with the minimal loss, okay, whenever you lose, and then you maximize your profit. You understand what I'm saying now? So that is it about trade management. Okay, so let me take you to the 4-hour chart and show you, or let's say the 1-hour chart can do that. Okay, so I'm just gonna take these ones off right now. Sorry for that. Just gonna take all these ones off. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through the trade now so you see what I'm talking about. So we saw price dropping, and then after it broke up to the upside, breaking this high. And so that was when I said for myself, most likely we're going to see price move back up now. But that is after I've done my fundamental analysis for the day. And not just for the day, but for this week. The week started yesterday, and I've looked into the market and I'm seeing that pound is gaining strength. And it seems to me that out of all the funding currency, I may not know what that means, not really funding currency, but for trade settling, okay, currencies, um, you have pound doing fine, better than the other ones, and so that is one of the reasons why I think pound is going to do great today. And I also looked at NZD as well, and I saw a few things in there as well. Okay, but if you look at market structure here, we saw a break to the upside, breaking this high. This is 1 hour chart, and we have this weekly high in view. So I'll go to the 4 hour chart, and you see that's a weekly high. Okay, so this is the previous week's high, okay, in view. So we're looking for price to get as high as this, because this for me is a liquidity zone, liquidity pool. We have a double top right here, and if you look up here, you see this is an auto block level. Okay, so for me, I'm looking for price to break towards that level, and that is when I will be looking to collapse my trade. That's not to say I can collapse my trade now. I can move my stop loss maybe to this area here. If I, by the time I close the video, I might choose to do that. All right, but I'm just showing you what I'm thinking about. So, but that's what I'm looking for. That's what my target is. And this is the previous week's high. You can see when price got up there, we saw the retracement back. Okay, so this is one of those things that happens time and time again. If you're used to this market, you will find that these things play out over and over again. Okay, so but going down to today, all right, so right here on this day, we see this double lows, this double bottom right here. This was formed during the Asian session, and when London came, we ran these Asian session lows. You see that now. We ran the Asian session lows, and that's beautiful stuff. That is called stop ons. All right, so they run the stops that are sitting below there, which are sell side or liquidity, and they need that to go long. And you see after that, we had a rejection from that low. And that's one of the things that gave me confidence actually to take this trade at this level. Okay, and so when we saw price coming back up again, that was when I took the trade, and my initial stop loss was around here, was around this level right here, because I took my trade around here, right? And so my initial stop loss was somewhere here. And then we saw price continue higher and higher. And by the time it got past this high, which is the weekly high, last week's high actually, I said to myself, okay, then it's a good time for me to now move my stop loss above my entry. Okay, because even all this while when I was in profit, I didn't consider moving it above my entry yet because I don't really feel confident doing that. All right, so but right now we have the stop loss above entry. Okay, so my entries are based on institutional concepts. All right, and you see this approach that I've just outlined for you on how to find the best quality trade setup every time. All of this I've taught in my training course, okay? And the types of entry that I use are also taught inside there. I have a new course that talks about how to look at the market and find out where the big money is flowing out of and flowing into. You see, that gives you a very huge advantage in this market because it tells you instantly what to buy. You are not a confused person when you wake up. You know the exact things that you're going to be looking at, and that instantly tells you what you should be buying and what you should be selling. And all you have to do is just to wait for the right time to get in on the trade. You see that now. Okay, so that is it, guys. I hope this kind of added something to you. But to close, for those of you, I needed to add this one at the close because I know a lot of people will not watch today, might not watch to the end because these days a lot of people just want something that you come, you deliver in 1 minute, and then they just run with it. You can't really survive in this market big time like that. Okay, if you want to scalp, fine. Maybe you can work with those kinds of things. But if you really want to master this game, you really want to master this thing, guys, and you want to trade this and you want to be in this game for the long term, then you need to really understand how this market moves. You need to pay attention to information. Okay, you've seen what is happening with Bitcoin recently, with Ethereum, with other cryptos. You see how they are crashing. And when I look at the crypto community, they are so confused. They don't even know what is happening. Whereas we know what is happening because, for instance, I know what is happening. Let me speak for myself. Okay, because I know what actually caused the bullish run from that started around 2020. So I know currently why it is actually crashing. It's just because that structure that supported the bullish run from 2020 is no longer there. That is why cryptos are crashing. And this is some of the things I talk about in my new training course. So if you are one of those who got my training course before, you should contact me if you are interested in something like this, because for you guys, at the very least, what you get is a very huge discount. For other people, there are also discounts, and so you can reach me if you feel interested. All right, so but that is it for this one, guys. Cheers and God bless you.